Pascal Siakam's a rich guy. $130 million over 4 years. His story is amazing, isn't it? Like, it's absolutely amazing.
To start playing basketball when he did, and to go to school that he did, and to come out at the end of it and make $130 million over 4 years. That is a wonderful story. And to be the most improved player in the NBA, and to be on the verge of superstardom. It just shows, I mean, a little perseverance, a lot of work, and you too. Well, maybe not you two, but you too can achieve something.
Not this thing.
Maybe we should bring Marc Spears in to discuss it, because Marc Spears is just outside the studio.
Of ESPN, Marc Spears?
Marc Spears, good friend of the show, ESPN. And I've been told that he had a conversation with Pascal Siakam, so we could talk to Spearsy about that. I know you had knee surgery. Don't trip on that as you walk in. Well,
Marc
you're a
Spears
big man.
complaining about the size of our cups. Yeah, you just have your hand is huge. Our cups are regular.
Although it's about the time.
Did you get a shot of coffee?
Yeah. We're live, by the way. I don't know if you know that. You got really comfortable. I don't know.
Well, he is really comfortable.
I just wanted to double check with Spears.
Wow, man.
I know. I just wanted to make sure. Marc Spears of ESPN joining us here in the studio. This is your first Tim and Sid studio experience,
isn't it? This is beautiful. You should have fans here and everything, like stands.
It's not like the jump setup, but it's ours.
I like this better.
We got a little Hall of Fame over there.
I mean, come on, man. You got the scoreboard. That's a winner right there.
Except it says 1-0 to Sid right now.
That's literally. You know what? I like that scoreboard right now.
I don't know
how to get the one.
Well, we'll talk about it later.
I'm gonna come back fighting.
Yeah.
It involved the team.
We're just talking about Pascal Siakam and what a great story he is. You sat down with him for a little while, and I know that a piece is going to come out. Tell us a little bit about your conversation about Pascal and kind of the story as you see it.
Yeah, you know, writing for the Undefeated, we always look for these kind of undefeated, these kind of special stories. He has one. I mean, you guys know it well. So I'm always curious, when these guys sign deals like this, what kind of emotions do they have?
Right.
I mean, this isn't real money. You know, this is like won the lottery money.
Right.
So I said, you know, what was it like when you drove down here this morning, when you drove down to the arena to sign it, or to the OVO practice facility? And he's like, he was emotional because of his father. He also said he didn't want to get in an accident. He was scared. And he was scared to drive. Yeah. Like, man, he said he called his agent, Todd Rabbit. So I was like, man, you better get there safe, man. I mean, Todd's getting a nice chunk,
five guys just carry him down to OVO.
Yeah. So he said he didn't do nothing since they came to terms on Saturday. He didn't go anywhere.
Boy in a bubble.
He didn't do nothing. Yeah, because he was scared of something happening. But he's really humbled and appreciative of it. And one thing that stood out to me is when you walk into the media center, they had a paper, coach's name, Van Vliet, Ibaka, and his name. It was just another day for him. He didn't want to make a spectacle of it, although he could have. And he is more worried about celebrating tomorrow, the rings, the banner, and celebrating his contract.
Go ahead, Tim.
You want me to go?
Oh, sorry. I thought you had a question.
No, I didn't. But that's interesting to me, and I can follow up on it if you'd like, Sid.
Go ahead.
But it's interesting to me because
my awkwardness.
Because the dude just made a lot of money, and there's a lot of people who are wondering whether he's worth it, whether the Raptors can live up. Like, a lot of this is intertwined, is it not?
Yeah.
The Raptors being able to live up to the banner that will go to the Raptors tomorrow night, and Siakam's continued growth.
Yeah.
Do you think that he can evolve into the man that will now see the majority of whatever game plan you're going to see in an 82-game schedule?
Well, no, it's interesting. He's actually the 9th highest paid Raptor this season. That contract doesn't kick in to next season, so he's still on a rookie deal. He's not ready to buy everybody dinner just yet.
Did he tell you to say that to make sure that
his teammates hear that?
I'm still making 2 and change.
So, but Masai told him, look, be ready for everybody to treat you on the court and off the court as if you're making that $20+ million. So he knows it's coming. He still, I thought, what would happen with the chip on his shoulder that has motivated this guy so much? But he still has it because he knows everybody's coming his head. He knows there's people that don't believe he's worth this money that's coming to him. He feels like people don't respect perhaps players from Africa. So he still has these chips on his shoulder to motivate him.
You mentioned chips on the shoulder. We're hearing a lot of stuff out of the Raptors over the last 48 hours or so, and we ran some of it earlier in the show with Van Vliet and Serge Ibaka.
Oh, yeah. No, they got a big chip.
They sound pissed.
Yeah.
Like, what was the vibe down there today with those guys about the non-believers, so to speak?
Van Vliet cursed. Get his point across. I won't say that here.
Thank you.
Family show.
Thank you.
Ibaka made a point to look at all of us media people, scribes and stuff, and say, we're still good. I'm curious about OG. How's he gonna be? Look, you're not gonna replace Kawhi by himself. You got to do it by committee. That young kid, man, I think this is his season. He's got to stay healthy mentally, physically. If he can be a spark, I mean, what was their record without him? Without Kawhi, 19-7 last year.
I think it was
pretty good.
or whatever.
This isn't the Western Conference. I live in the Bay, so that's like the old battle royals, where over there. Over here, man, it's still open. I mean, yes, Philly is the front runner, and Boston's going to be good, and obviously Milwaukee's going to be good. It's not out of the realm of possibility, because this team, in a way, it reminds me of Golden State because it's a team. You know what I mean? Like, they know each other well, they play well together. And are they going to be back in the finals? I don't know about that, but I won't say they won't be. I won't root against them or vote against them. They have the attitude as champs. They are champs. They believe they need to be respected as champs. And I see this team, like Siakam, all having a chip on their shoulder and coming in really angry this year.
Marc Spears of the Undefeated and ESPN joining us in studio, talking a little ball. And since we're just talking a little ball, Jaylen Brown got a little money.
Yeah.
He follows up. Do you think, and listen, I understand that he hasn't averaged 15 points per game in the regular season. He had one preseason where he showed a few flashes that he could be the man. Is that what Danny Ainge just paid him for?
I think he paid him like the Warriors paid Draymond Green. He's a guy that does a little bit of everything.
Right.
Also keep in mind that you got to look at some of these players as assets. You can't lose them for nothing. So maybe if you think he's worth that or you don't. For example, Masai, when he was with the Denver Nuggets, he signed an A to a long-term deal, which people kind of scoffed at the time, and then 3 or 4 months later he traded in Washington. Had the asset. The Clippers tricked Blake Griffin into signing their deal, basically saying he was the second coming since Jesus. They had these amazing T-shirts with Gandhi and Michael Jackson and all these different folks on them, and he signed the deal, and he should have. It was a lot of money.
Right.
And then
Love, peace, and
traded them to Detroit.
Yeah.
You got to keep the asset, which is why, for Golden State, they lost Durant, but how often does a team lose a player of that magnitude and still get somebody back? And they got that in D'Angelo Russell. So is Jaylen worth that? Is he going to be that guy? I don't know, but they couldn't afford to potentially lose him.
Right.
Or what if he blows up this season, and which I think tomorrow your New Orleans Pelicans made a huge mistake by not taking care of Brandon Ingram now.
Right.
And that deadline has passed, right? It was 6 Eastern?
He's going to have a huge season, perhaps even an all-star caliber season, especially with Zion out. The L.A. pressure is gone. He averaged 28 in the second half last year. I know he's in a new environment, but if I'm New Orleans, there's guys, he's a lot better than they got money today.
Right.
And I think that can end up burning them.
If speaking of assets, if the Raptors season doesn't go the way some people think,
well, what do they think? What is it? What is the expectation?
Around these parts, they think they're a top 3 team easy.
Nah, I would say 3-4.
Okay,
3, 4,
I'll give you 3,
So
4.
second round.
Yeah.
Home court first round team. I think that's the belief in these parts. Is that a fair assumption? Where does Marc Spears stand on that first out?
I think they'll be pretty high record-wise because of all the things that I said before. So I expect them to have, it's not out of the realm of possibility, to have a 1 seed because of their familiarity and because they're healthy. How many games is Ben going to play? How many games is, Joel Embiid going to play?
How many games is Giannis going to play?
How many is Giannis going to play? Losing Malcolm Brogdon was huge, man. So I'm not on the Bucks bandwagon as high as everybody else is. Boston has a lot of new pieces. Again, you're in the Eastern Conference. It's a wide open race. In the West, I'd be like, oh boy. If y'all was out there, if you change your zip code and were in Vancouver all of a sudden, it'd be trouble to be top 4 for sure. But here, I think they could be as high as 1.
Do we correct the zip code in Canada to the postal code, as we call
Code,
it?
yes.
We give you some Canadian.
It's election night in the country. We need to get things proper.
A little
Who's gonna
postal
win?
code.
Who's going to win?
Yeah, did you vote?
The guy who's not qualified.
You can say that.
You can say that about a lot of people in a lot of different places.
You can, oh, man,
That's Six Arrows' way of getting out of it.
And I'm
then,
right.
And then he gave.
Give myself some
I
more,
love that.
which I rarely do. But I give
Did you
myself.
guys vote?
No,
though?
I
both
voted.
of us voted.
Voted twice.
Yeah, we asked.
You can do that twice here?
Apparently, no. I'm kidding. I didn't vote twice. Everyone relax.
We went on a diatribe early how everyone's attacking democracy from left, right, and center, and that we all need to vote. Which I believe.
Trust me, from where I'm from, that is extremely important right now.
And I
Yeah,
think we
that's
all
fair.
know that in the cradle of democracy
That's
that
fair.
is North America.
Yeah.
Vote. Just vote.
Back to the asset thing. Now that we've established that the Raptors can finish anywhere from 1st to 5th, and if they're in the West, they'd miss the playoffs entirely.
I didn't say that.
Okay. I thought I heard that. I'm
I
sorry.
said, no, I just said it'd be trouble.
Okay. So let's say that the Raptors are 7th, 8th by around the trade deadline.
Why would it be 7th?
I'm just saying things happen, right? Like Kyle gets hurt. Something happens.
I keep saying this to him. He keeps going 7th, 8th. I say 5th is the decision making
Okay,
for
what- so
Masai. If he's
regardless-
if he's 5th or 4th.
Let's say they're in a position where Masai's not happy, where Masai's looking at this crew and believes
They're disappointing. Let's just say
maybe
you're
the
saying
run
they're
is coming to an
yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the first asset that the Clippers, let's just say the Clippers, come calling for?
I don't think y'all do any deal with the Clippers for
Really?
about 10 years. No.
We want Kyle. Kyle's only signed for X more months.
I don't think y'all would even pick up the Clippers call right now.
So feelings are hard still. Is that what you're saying?
Word on the street, yes.
But it's a business. You got to keep
Okay.
emotions out of business, don't you, Timmy? If the Clippers were to give Masai a good offer for
I
I
believe that,
I
but
don't
that
even
doesn't
think it's his decision, Kawhi's decision. I don't think they're mad at Kawhi. I don't think the fans should be mad at Kawhi.
It's who showed up here last year.
Owner sitting courtside, and Mark Hughes being at the game, and GM being at the game. Like,
Bomber being at the game.
you know, Phil Handy didn't get to go to the Clippers.
Right.
Okay.
I saw a lot
You know,
of
the
Lawrence
Clippers
Frank.
were interested in him too,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. I just think a
Hey,
good
look,
offer is a
look,
good offer is a
hey.
good offer, but
Sipping some tea
Marc
over there
Spears
is
is
Marc
sipping
Spears.
tea
Yeah.
right now.
No, I'm with you on that, but I don't know if when Masai gets to wherever Masai gets, the one thing that I've learned about Masai Ujiri in his time is that he is, I mean, he smiles, he is
All I'm saying
very
is,
charismatic.
I don't think there's 28 other teams that they could deal with. I don't think the Clippers is one of them.
I just think Masai is cutthroat when it comes down to actually doing the business,
Yeah.
and he won't care. Like, that's my take on Masai Ujiri,
Yeah.
is that he smiles, he's charismatic,
Yeah.
he's a philanthropist, and he does great work.
No,
But
he's
when
all of those things.
But when it comes down to the business, I think he wants to get the business
Yeah.
done. So it'll be interesting to see.
But they're still.
A lot of teams that will be interested in guys like
There were
Kyle
rules
Lowry,
made this summer
Marc
because of what the
Gasol,
Clippers did.
or Ibaka.
There were rules made because of what they did.
oh yeah, the tampering rules were stiffened up.
Yeah.
But that's a joke too, right? Like that's still going to go on. Come on, it's the NBA.
This can't be as blatant. Like, I think the thing is they were blatant about it. That's what bothered
That
the
they were.
Raptors. You know,
They were.
you know,
Yeah,
like the owner of the team coming to the game and tried to say hi to your star. It's a little much. You don't find that disrespectful?
you know what's funny is that I think Sid and I have become so
Desensitized.
desensitized, or you're just apathetic to it because you know, and especially where we are, where we've seen stars leave one after another, like Chris Bosh. If there was any question whether or not Chris Bosh was tampered with before he went to Miami, like, come on, whether it's a player or an owner showing up, there's the same types of power, and we've almost become just apathetic to it all.
And I don't get it. I like it here a lot. I've told you guys. Man,
Right.
I had some great Caribbean food last night. People are cool. The shopping's amazing.
And you were here during NBA All-Star Week, which was one of the coldest.
I've been
one
here
of the
enough
coldest.
to know that that happens. I mean, that's part of the weather here.
Right. Happens in Detroit. Happens in Milwaukee.
It was cold in New York, too, the year before.
Right.
But, going back to Siakam, it was interesting. I said, when did you really find out that Kawhi was leaving? And he told me, Kawhi sent a group text to everybody. Said, hey, guys, it's been great, but I'm going back home.
He WhatsApped everyone to say Is that what Kawhi did?
Set up a group text. And but he got excited because now he knew his opportunity got bigger, and so did some of the other guys. But one thing that he said, you know what? We all thought he was gone, which I thought was interesting because now they're being honest about it. Mm-hmm. But he said, but when we won, I thought we had a shot that he would stay.
There was a part of them.
Yeah, like him showing up at the Blue Jays game afterwards and being in town.
The laugh at the parade celebration did it. That's what got me.
Yeah.
I said to myself, I didn't expect that.
Mm-hmm. Like he seemed comfortable here. I was a little surprised.
Yeah, there were a bunch of little moments where you're like, well, maybe he's more serious than we think.
Yeah.
And then
they're hanging out here a week afterwards and going to the Blue Jays game. That really.
But he's just a big Mike Trout guy, so we learned.
But from
they were playing Angels.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
From what you've gathered, and you are one of the better information men in the business. But from what you've gathered, wasn't Kawhi probably coming back for 1 year until Paul George signed, or until they pulled off the Paul George deal to get him to sign, or was he always going home?
The Paul George part was huge. The Clippers knew they had to get somebody.
Right.
That's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Like Paul George. You've had guys this summer that have given away $50 million. Paul George is legendary.
Yeah, he didn't give up nothing.
He made a shrewd business move. He signed, got his money, bit his tongue for a year in a place he didn't want to be, and then got traded to a place he wanted to be.
Right.
With all his money. That was a great business move on his part.
Great.
The true story about behind the scenes, how they did that, I'd really like to know, because that smells really funny.
Right. Right.
I've never seen anything like that in 20 years of covering the NBA, but it was
got it
pretty
done.
pimp.
Yeah.
That deserves horns.
Both slow in the draw today. What is going on with you and
It's
I?
getting colder.
Oh, man.
Well, we're getting ready for Jurassic Park tomorrow. We're going down, do the show from Jurassic Park.
Is it going to be anything like the finals? It'll
be interesting to see what it'll be like tomorrow.
The Warriors copied you guys.
What they do?
Put something outside?
They have one now.
What do they call it?
Curry Park.
Well,
I don't know. I don't think it has a name yet.
They paid enough for that arena. They better do something with
But
it.
they have like these.
Draymond Dome? Like what do they
It's
call
the
it?
only place in San Francisco that has an outdoor big screen. So they have one outside of their arena where people that don't go to their games because they're all sold out can watch it. And they have actual steps. I mean, where you could sit and watch the game.
One of my favorite parts.
Like an amphitheater.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite parts of any post-game playoff game in Oakland was the dance party that would just start up.
Yeah, they didn't
How
get
long
to,
has that been going on?
Raptors didn't get to celebrate. I mean, kept them from celebrating this year. There was no.
But after every playoff win,
they
it was
call
like,
it getting dumb. They had nobody getting dumb. They have fireworks. They have two sets of fireworks. They have one at the arena and they have one in the neighborhood in East Oakland behind them. Didn't take place. Raptors kept them.
We even kept that soccer mom who dances in the crowd relatively quiet.
How is Bernice doing? Is she good?
I hope she clean that sweater at least. He wears the same
He
sweater
wears
every
the
game.
same sweater every
Sweater's
day.
just filthy.
Normally we end the show with what we missed.
Okay.
The first what we missed, however, got to do with the LA Clippers. So I might as well involve you with this what we missed. And I don't know if you know this, but we have a huge budget on this show. So have a listen and a look at the intro to what we missed. It's big time.
What we missed.
Just like ESPN.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys in an area, and they just yelled
that's
at
it?
it. Yep.
That's basically it.
That's it.
Okay.
Doc says there's been no limitations when Kawhi makes his Clippers debut against the Lakers tomorrow. No load management plans with Paul George expected to miss the first 10 games of the season. Is this a good look for the Clippers? We'll start with our guest, Sydney.
Obviously.
Mark, is this a good look for the Clippers? No load management for Kawhi?
I think y'all mad about it, probably.
No, I'm good. I'm good with it.
I hope so. They didn't get McCutcheon in there to get away. You guys still got him here. So
What should the
McCutcheon.
Raptors do if he plays 81 regular season games?
get some money back.
Like honestly,
But I no. So one thing I did hear from Kawhi in some of his press conferences is he's healthy. He feels like he's healthy. He feels like he feels a lot better now than he did a year ago here. I don't think it was I'm trying to do something to Toronto thing. He was hurt.
Yeah.
He was hurt, but he's a year removed from that, so I think he's better.
Cristiano Ronaldo makes $975,000, almost $1 million, $25K short of $1 million for every Instagram post that
Worth
he
every
makes.
penny. That's my guy.
Wow.
I know that is Marc Spears' guy. That's both your guys.
I got a signed jersey
Really?
with my name on it from Ronaldo.
Really? He gave me his cleats once.
No,
Are you
he
serious?
didn't.
And
No.
I was in Madrid, and I was a ball boy. No, none of that's true. You have a better Cristiano Ronaldo story.
He's showing it on our air. You have it. You have it framed.
Yeah, that's right,
in the
that's right.
house.
Yeah.
Anthony Randolph, he used to play for the Warriors, a good friend of mine. He plays for Real Madrid, and he got it for him. And he said one time he had some spaceship that he was driving out, and he heard this big hum. He said Ronaldo just strolled up to him, rolled down the window, winked at him, rolled it back up, and took off.
It's like a superhero.
So he's rolling in
Some
his
Lamborghini,
Bugatti. He can,
yeah.
see
It's like
him
Mean
spend it.
Joe Grease.
just winked at him and rolled up the window and left. Man.
How much money would it take to get you on Instagram, 6-0?
Me?
You're not on it?
I'm on. I'm just not very good at it. Like, I'm not, hey, look at my food.
We're not cute enough to get followers.
Okay, well, speak for yourself. But I mean,
I've been trying to convince Sid to do the poses that are made famous on Instagram.
he wants me to do Instagram like other people would do Instagram, not like how I would do Instagram.
like good
it's like
looking.
me posing in a black and white photo, like downtown, like life,
Like an album cover.
something like that.
Yeah.
Like and with its
I think
inspirational quotes.
hand on hip. You know those. I want him to do Instagram like this.
That's what
Just
you
take-
did?
No, I want him to do
No,
it.
he doesn't want to
Because he
do it.
doesn't
He
do it
wants
on
me to do it.
Instagram.
He wants to
Yeah.
sell
He
you
wants
out.
to mock others through me.
He wants to pimp you out.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, Marner and Matthews not on the first line to start the game time, according to the Athletics' Jonas Siegel. So it's on.
Mark, always good. Thanks for stopping by and just kind of putting the feet up and talking.
Thanks, man.
We
Love
appreciate
y'all,
you.
man.
Appreciate you.
All right, that does it for us. We'll be back tomorrow live from Jurassic Park ahead of the Raptors opener, 5 p.m. Eastern on Sportsnet
Sorry,
and
Mark.
Sportsnet 590, The Fan.